So when Facebook won't let you do a live, you do a Zoom video. All right, I am going to show you guys the results of my rice experiment. It was pretty cool. You know, first off, I do want to talk to you a little bit. I think my dog's choking to death. Talk to you a little bit about frequencies and why. Piggy, are you okay? Well, how frequencies affect us. You know, every day we're being impacted by the frequency energy around us. What we listen to, what we watch, the thoughts that we have in our head repeatedly, they all affect us. So, you know, it's fascinating to me how frequencies and vibration affect our water. They affect our bodies. They affect everything around us. And the rice that I cooked up was mostly water. In fact, it was 65% water. Well, guess what? We're 65% water too. So that's kind of cool, isn't it? And Dr. Emoto was the one that actually did this test with rice, and he publicized it. He also has a book, and this book is a great read. I encourage anybody to take a look at this book and read it. It's not a real deep read, but it's very interesting. He's got lots of pictures in here of the experiments that he did with the water and how it crystallized. So this would be a really good book to start to kind of understand how frequencies can affect us. He's got lots of neat little pictures and such in there. But Dr. Masaru Emoto is the author's name, and the name of the book is The Hidden Messages in Water. So I really encourage you to take a look at that book. So we'll get right to it. I labeled my jars. I had 3 jars. And this was an experiment that was prompted by another one of my Facebook friends, and we all have AO scanners. So I was really anxious to jump on and do this experiment. So my first jar was love. My second jar was hate. And my third jar was neglect. So I labeled those. And I'll tell you where I put these jars. I put my love jar in my bedroom on my dresser. And every time, and when I use the restroom or whatever, I use my bathroom in my bedroom. But every time I would go in there, I would speak to my jar. I would simply say, I love you. You are beautiful. You are gorgeous. You are thought of. You are worthy. You are so amazing, and I am glad you are here, things like that. And my intention was really good. So the next jar was my hate jar. My hate jar, I put right next to my television and right next to my router and my modem, so to speak. So I thought, you know, sometimes my hubby sits there and watches the news, and there's nothing but awful things that are discussed on the news. So I thought, why not set it next to the TV where the speaker is and next to the modem where it can be affected the most. But then I would also walk by it. I'll never forget the first time I did it. Scott was sitting in the recliner in front of the TV, and I picked up the jar and I said, I hate you. You are ugly. You need to die. And I just went on. And he goes, God, can you be a little less harsh? And I went, that's what I'm supposed to do, babe. So anyway, that's the hate jar. And my neglect jar, I stuck it in my bedroom, in my master closet, up on the shelf. It's dark in there. We rarely went in there and looked at it. We, you know, occasionally turn the light on, grab our clothing that we were going to wear for the day, but it was pretty much neglected. I never spoke to it. I never went and looked at it. Now Tristan would go in there and kind of look at the progress of it. And one day I told him, I said, well, I hadn't even checked on it. Is it doing anything? He said, yeah, there's actually a little speck of something in there. I'm like, oh, cool. Okay. Well, what I want to reveal to you guys is even during this experiment, I was not feeling well myself. So I did the best that I knew how to do with speaking, you know, these words over it. So I'm going to take these labels off just so you can see everything that happened in the jar. I don't think I have a flashlight. Oh, I got my phone flashlight. We can do that. But I want to show you what happened in these jars. Well, you can pretty much see it. You can see that there is a mold growing in the love jar. And what I want you to particularly notice is that it's still a little dry. There's not a lot of liquid in here, but there is mold growing in this jar. And it's green mold. It's mainly green mold. You can see that there. It's a little hard on the camera to see it, but I promise you it's more green than it is anything. It's just like a green mold. There's a little bit of like peachy colored stuff right in here, but mostly green mold in the love jar. Now, in my hate jar, I'll take the label off here and show you this, because I thought this was interesting. It has some black mold growing in it. It also has some green mold, but what it also has in here, and I don't know if you can see that or not, see that glop there? It's kind of like green, but with like a reddish brown around it. I don't know if you can see that or not. And it seems to have some liquid in it. Now, I cooked all these batches up. I cooked the whole batch up together and I just separated it. But like I said, in the love jar, there's very little liquid in the bottom of it. The hate jar has a little bit more liquid in it. And you can see it's kind of slimy. You can really see that one's really affected. Now let's look at the neglect jar, because it's kind of like my favorite jar. I don't know why, but it is my favorite one. And the reason why is because I'm really fascinated by why it did what it did. So let me take the label off of it. And there is some mold growing in here, but it's very, very little. I don't even know if you can see it. But what is fascinating to me is look at all the liquid. There's a bunch of liquid in here. It's really weird. I don't know if you can really see that or not, but there's lots of liquid in this jar. And there's very, very little mold at all in it. Oh, wait, there's the mold. It's down there at the bottom. Way at the bottom. You can see the mold there. And it's, like I said, it's at the bottom. So there's got to be something to that. So anyway, I want to talk to you a little bit more about the effects of this. And a lot of people ask, well, how does that work? You know, how's that happening? Well, it's because I'm, speaking negative things to it. And the rice is, responding to that. And I think the reason why the liquid is in the neglect jar is because it's starting to ferment. So that's my take on it. And I'm really fascinated at how words can affect us, how words can affect other objects. So if you don't think that frequencies and vibrations affect us, you really need to do some research. I posted some videos today that was actually part of the emails that I would get about the experiment. And I shared them so that you could actually watch them and get a little bit more educated on frequencies and vibrations and how this all works. Another book that I absolutely love, and I've had it for years, is Feelings Buried Alive Never Die by Carol K. Truman. This book is letting us know how our emotions affect our physical health, our mental health, and really kind of sheds some light on how our affirmations and our self-talk affect us. For years, I used to suffer with depression because I've been through a lot of abuse in my past. So this book was a little bit of an eye-opener for me. I've read it many years ago, but I'm going to read it again because now with the AO scanner, I think this is going to be an important facet to my work. So what I really loved is in this book, we've got some different affirmations that you can speak. I really encourage you guys, if you're struggling with self-talk whatsoever, that matters. What we say over and over and over, that script over and over in our head, that affects us. So if you're saying things like, I'm stupid, I really don't know very much, I'm ugly, am I ever going to get well? And, why am I struggling with health so bad? Is it because I'm doing everything wrong? That's negative self-talk, guys. You want to replace those words with, I am healthy. My my cells are very strong and they're capable of giving me a strong, healthy body. That is positive feedback to our brains. Our brains need to hear that. Our cells need to hear that. Some of the things that I do for myself is really speak gratefulness over this body that I've been given. I've abused my body in the past. I try not to abuse it today. I try to take the best care of it because it's the only body you get. So I'm finding ways to really nurture myself and do self-love, things like that, because that is very important. We've got to do these things for ourselves. But something that I've done in the past, and I encourage you to do it. It may seem silly and it may seem like, why am I doing this? But I promise you it works. Make some Post-it notes. Put them on your mirror that you go to in the morning. Put them on your lamp next to your bed. Read those words. Make these the positive things that you say to yourself over and over. And when you use the words, I am, that's powerful because you are recognizing that you are a higher being. You are connected to spirit, source, God, however you want to label that. But you're here having a spiritual experience in your physical body. So make your words count. It's all frequencies, guys. We are being bombarded by frequencies on a daily, minute by minute basis. And if we don't use positive things to replace all the negative that's coming against us, you start to become down and downtrodden and depressed and things like that. And it's a rough ride. But if you will replace those words in your head and the words you say to others, that counts too. I'm reminded, and a lot of people go, oh God, here she goes on a religious thing. It has nothing to do with religion, but it does have everything to do with the great writings. We even have the Torah. We've got the Bible. We've got lots of spiritual writings that are available to us. But one of my favorite verses in the Bible, it talks about that the tongue is sharper than any two-edged sword, and that it can proclaim life or death. So be careful with your tongue. Be careful with the words that you say, the thoughts that you think, because honestly, it's not going to do you any good if all you're thinking is negatively all the time. Think of, replace those negative thoughts. Even if you don't believe it, the more you start saying it, the more you're going to believe it. I promise. I have done this work for several years now, and I can tell you, I have grown immensely into the beautiful person that I know I'm capable of being. And that's my higher self. And I just so want to help you with that. So if you liked this experiment, I encourage you to do it too. Just boil you up some rice and stick them in 3 different jars, but use some jars that you don't care about keeping later after the experiment that you can just toss in the trash, because these are pretty good jars that I use. And I'm like, oh, I don't even want to open them because I'm sure it does not smell good. But anyway, the other tool that I use that help with frequencies is this AO scanner. I love my AO scanner. It really does shed some light. Right now I'm running some Cephis, or, broadcasting some frequencies to myself, but I absolutely love my scanner. So you can see I'm running a playlist right now. I just imprinted my water with this playlist. It's my love playlist. But I just make it a habit to do my scan every morning. I listen to my tunes. I wear my glasses that it suggests, because this is part of the chromotherapy. And I made a post about that too. I sent, how chromotherapy affects us. So I will put on my glasses, I plug in my earphones, and I listen to my tunes. And the tunes come with our easy scan, and I'll show you mine this morning. So orange was right there on the bottom. So when I play this, you'll hear it. It's beautiful music, and it's got binaural beats in it, so it helps to address both sides of the brain. And when you do this, it really does make a change in your life, in your well-being, your mental health, your spiritual health. And then it gives me a nice, beautiful report that I can actually look at to see what things I need to improve in my body. And then we just got the new body systems reports. Oh my gosh, guys, I can't even say enough about that. But that report is just amazing. It looks a lot like the inner voice report. If any of you have had the inner voice done with me, this report is much like that. It tells you all the things that could be going on, or potential causes, and then it gives you suggestions on what you can do to improve yourself. So guys, I just wanted to share this experiment with you. Please check out the posts that I made today. Check out the videos that I sent on frequencies and how they affect us and why they're so important. This might be the missing link to your health journey. If you're doing everything right, as far as eating right, and you're exercising and drinking good water and all these things, but yet you still have a little bit of a block somewhere, the missing link could be the frequencies. I'd be happy to help you with that. You can experience a month long of these frequencies with me, either with the inner voice for $50, or I'll do, the easy scan for $97, or I can do a vital scan for a month long for $77 for the entire month. So just reach out to me. Let me know if this is something that you're interested in, because I'd love to help you. And then these reports would be invaluable to you to help you know what direction you can take. So I'd be happy to do that with anybody that would be willing to do that. I just need a little bit of information from you to put into my scanner. Nothing is, revealed. You're not going to be spammed with email or anything like that. That's not what this is about. It's just so that I can email the reports to you and that the scanner can recognize you. So anyway, I just wanted to share everything with you. I hope everybody's having a beautiful day. I am so thankful. I am over the upper respiratory thing that I had going on. I really appreciate everyone's prayers, their good thoughts, their vibes that they were sending me. I felt every bit of it. And I am incredibly grateful for everybody's help and love during that time. Still got a little bit of residual cough that appears here and there, but I feel like I'm on the up and up and ready to start working and helping people again. So anyway, I love you guys, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.